Hi, my name is Marlies, and you are tuned into Master Brain Mathematics. Welcome. So today we are going to have a look at the solving of two variables in simultaneous linear equations. Now, this is a topic I believe that will be found in the curriculum of grade 10 pure maths. So let's have a look at an example. So given to us are two linear equations. So we have 3x plus y equals 2, and then we have 6x minus y equals 25. And the question is solve for x and y. So what are the steps that we need to follow from this point forward? So the first thing would be to, I think, easiest is just to go and you actually give each of these equations just a number so we can identify them. I'll give them number 1 and number 2. And then we will take one of these equations and we will set one of the variables in these equations as the subject of the equation. So in simple terms, having one of the variables by itself on the one side of the equation. So I'm just going to take equation 1. So let's just rewrite that. We've got 3x plus y equals 2. And I'm going to choose to just express this equation in terms of y, with y as the subject. So let's go ahead. So on the left-hand side of this equation, we have 3x plus y. Since we want y by itself, we need to get rid of the 3x. Now, in order to do that, we will be using the inverse of the 3x. Now, many learners think that you basically take the 3x, you just carry it over the equal sign, and then it ends up on the right-hand side, and you just change the sign, or that it just basically appears on the right-hand side, but that is not mathematically correct. We actually do follow a proper mathematical reasoning when we do this. So on the left-hand side, we do have the 3x, but we don't want it to be there basically anymore, since we want the y by itself. So what we will be doing is that we will add the inverse, which is negative 3x to the plus 3x. Then we have the y. And because we have an equal sign, what we do on the one side of the equation, we have to do on the other side to keep the balance. So since on the left hand, we have added a negative 3x, that is what we also need to do on the right hand side. So basically on the left hand side, we have a plus 3x and a negative 3x, which will cancel out. And we are left with y on the left hand side and 2 minus 3x on the right hand side. So now we have expressed equation 1 in terms of only y. So let's just give this equation now also a number just to identify this. So let's name it equation number 3. So now we have basically not solved for y, but we've expressed it in terms of something, which in this case is 2 minus 3x. So now, in order to actually go and solve for x, we will take this equation number 3, the value for y as 2 minus 3x, and just basically substitute it into equation 2, and then go and solve for x. So let's go and do that. So basically equation 2 was 6x minus y equals 25. And now we just substitute into the place of y. So basically we have the 6x minus, and please remember that the 2 minus 3x, we put that as a whole into a bracket to make sure that we take note of using our proper signs. So we will have 2 minus 3x in here, and that is equal to 25. And now, as you can see, we only have one variable to solve, which is x, and we are basically going to simplify and then solve for x. So basically, we will have 6x on this side. We have a negative times a positive 2, which will give you negative 2. We have a negative times a negative 3x, which gives you a positive 3x, and that is equal to 25. Now we add all the similar terms together. In this case, a 6x plus a 3x, which will give you a 9x, minus 2 gives you 25. We want to have x by itself because we want to solve for x. So in this case, we need to remove the negative 2 on the left-hand side. We will again apply the inverse. So in this case, we will have 9x negative 2 plus 2 equal to, and what we did on the left-hand side, we must do on the right-hand side. So we will have 25 plus 2 as well. We end up with 9x on the left, and then we have 27 on the right-hand side. In order to get x by itself, the inverse of the 9 multiplied with the x then is the division by 9. So 9x divided by 9 leaves you with x, and 27 divided by 9 leaves you with 3. So now we have solved for x. X has got the value of 3, and now this value of 3 we can substitute into any of the 3 equations that we have, number 1, 2, or 3, and we will just solve for y. So I'm just going to take equation number 3, since we already have it expressed in terms of y, so y equaling 2 negative 3x. So that is equal to 2 minus 3 times, and x we found to be 3. We substitute and we multiply out. We get that is 2. Negative 3 times a positive 3 gives you a negative 9, and we will find that y equals negative 7. And there we have solved for x and for y, and to test ourselves, we can go and substitute these two values into any of those equations, and they're supposed to then balance out on the left and the right-hand side. So yeah, that was the one for today. My name is Marlies, and if you are in any need of a tutor, please contact me. I would love to help you. Until next time, bye-bye.